trip to your Lincoln Mercury dealer today.
You're watching Sports Channel.
The Sports Writers on TV is brought to you by Chicago's Beer, Old Style and Old Style Light. It's our great beer.
This show was taped Monday. So, for those of you watching later in the week, oh, you'll understand why these guys are making even less sense than usual. But more than that, thanks so much for watching. From Chicago, it's the Sports Writers on TV with Bill Jauss of the Chicago Tribune, Sports Illustrated's Rick Telander. From the South Bend, Indiana Tribune, Bill Gleason, and yours truly, your host and moderator, Ben Bentley. Well, gentlemen, coming up, a superstar he sits. A reformer resigns. An eraser retires. Plus, the plot thickens in baseball's TV negotiations. And we'll meet the winningest college basketball coach in
Baseball,
history.
Ben. Baseball coach. Baseball. Take
baseball coach.
Yes,
baseball.
take my
We've
word
been
for it.
talking so much.
Right.
He's
Yeah,
laughing
okay.
already. See, he
Yeah,
laughs every
yeah.
time I make a...
Go on, Ben. You're doing great.
He glows. Okay. And we'll ask the question, so what's wrong with sitting around the house and just getting fat? But first, Gleason, I go to you. The topic is the NBA playoffs and the Chicago Bulls.
Especially the Chicago Bulls, who are now the only undefeated team in the tournament, have won 6 in a row. And Phil Jackson, the coach of the Bulls, as everybody should know, is a rare man in sports because he has a way with words. And after Game 2, he described what the Bulls had done over a 13-minute period in that game as an awesome onslaught. How many coaches? And that's just what it was. And later, after the game, Jauss and Telander, you're familiar with this. There were about 49 people around Scottie Pippen, all poking little microphones into his chin, hitting him in the eye. And I stood on the fringes, and I heard Pippen say, oh, they're beginning to compliment the coach. Have you noticed that now? And he said, Phil, this is the way Phil wanted to be during the season. He said, we weren't going all out. We were just playing to win. And he said, now Phil had us ready, and we've turned it on. And, Ben, you were around the NBA a long time.
Yes,
that
sir.
Defense, I'll tell you, you think about it as all of us would, guys who played, and you think about that with 2 and 3 guys flying at you throughout the entire game.
Riley won the Coach of the Year award by 1 vote over Rudy Tomjanovich. Lucas got some votes. Carl got some votes. Guess how many votes Jackson got?
0.
0.
Yep.
That is the dumbest election since Nixon won, because this guy, you're exactly right. If he didn't win Coach of the Year, he should get Sandbagger of the Year award, because these guys were coasting, lying back there, restoring their energy, getting ready to play this defense in the playoffs.
Well, I don't think we can automatically give them the NBA championship.
Oh,
right
no.
now. Just because they won 6
But
in a
if
row.
they'd have gone out to win as many regular season games as they could, with Pippen and Jordan coming out of the Olympics, then they might have run out of gas.
You know what, Bill? I think that it probably is not a good thing to go all out during the season. I mean, that is the frightening, unfortunate thing that we find out here. The playoffs are all that matter. And the Bulls were, I don't think I've ever seen a team that was happier to get done with the regular season. It was just putting in time. You know, I talk with people about Michael and talk to him occasionally, and you can see he is just bored to death with practice, bored to death with shoot-arounds, bored to death with the travel, bored to death with getting into his room, all that stuff. But what he loves to do, Ben, is win championships. And so do the rest of these guys. So they stayed in a good enough position.
And got healthy.
And got healthy.
Because he kept Cartwright out,
still
and
not
he kept
really healthy,
Paxson out. I know, but they were healthier than they would have been had they tried to win as many regular season games.
Here's the thing. You brought up, this to me is a dilemma. Phil Jackson gets no votes for Coach of the Year. Michael Jordan does not win MVP. If this is, as
Also, he didn't
appears
win
to be,
Defensive Player of the Year award, and Hakeem was terrific, but still, Jordan is better.
Well, they're different positions.
Yes.
And the way Hakeem changes guys coming down the lane, changes their shots, I think that's very important.
He doesn't play against
but
any
the point I want to
monster
make,
centers.
Bill, excuse me, let me get to the end of the sentence, is that if Jackson is not the best coach and Jordan is not the best player, then what's going on here?
Yeah.
You got to give credit to one of those two guys.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
The turning point, there were 2 turning points in Game 2, and one of them was, I believe, in either late in the second quarter, early in the third. Mark Price, dribbling, coming up the court, went to the sideline and was trapped by 3 Bulls, not by 2, by 3, and those long arms flailing. Not one player on Cleveland came to the ball.
Well, that's a team without a heart.
Cleveland, it also has only 2 players. Doherty and Price are the whole team. Therefore,
Doherty's a soft.
those 2 guys were double-teamed at all times. The Bulls could afford to do that.
No, I just wanted to ask you a question, Rick. Watching the Knicks, and I hate to use the word struggling against the Hornets, I think that when they finally have to play the Bulls, they're going to be a very tired ball club.
Could be. You wonder about being tired. Sometimes a layoff doesn't help. And you're right. The Hornets could be up 3-1 on the Knicks. Just
they were a little more experienced.
Yeah. But the thing about the Bulls, Bill, and you bring up this defense and long arms, I think you got to go and look at those guys and see how they cut down the floor on defense when they have that swarming full pressure thing. Well, Scottie Pippen has arms as long as a man 8 feet tall.
Right.
Horace Grant plays the middle like a free safety, and of course Jordan is doing things that only Jordan can do. It throws another team's
There's one other
offense
aspect in
completely
it.
out
I
of
want to
whack.
stay the coaching and go beyond Jackson, because it's one thing to have great, gifted athletes, but another thing to make them want to play defense and like to play defense. And I think Bach deserves the credit here.
John
because
Bach.
these guys genuinely love to put on that trap. It's exhausting, it's debilitating, but it's worse on the person
If
that
I'm
you're
not
trapping.
mistaken, the Bulls have the 2 oldest bench coaches in the league.
Bach and Tex Winter.
They're both in their 70s, even though Bach has a ponytail, which I greatly admire.
But he wears boots and Tex doesn't.
That's a credit to Jerry Krause. He does believe in having experience. He doesn't want those 25-year-old bench coaches. He wants the old guys who
Coaching
know what they're
staff
talking
is
about.
excellent.
Well, Gleason, finally we get what the sports fans have been asking for, sports writers' caps.
And sports writers' T-shirts.
What took so long?
Well, we don't rush into things, Ben. Now we got them made in the U.S. of A.
Well, how do I order for my grandsons?
Mail, check, or money order to Sports Writers Collection Box 5526, River Forest, Illinois 60305, $29.95 for both, including handling and mailing.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to say something about how you guys played today. You should be ashamed of yourself. You don't deserve your old style.
Hey, I got a double.
I got a double. How about this guy? I got it. He was in a quantity. He had no idea. The only one that deserves their old style today is Amy.
Amy.
Hey, guys, try to concentrate here. Well, excuse us, Stanley. Where are you when we win one? Mike, old style's for everybody Stanley is buying. How about that? Old style. It's our great beer.
Y'all ready for this?
Budweiser and ITT Sheraton present world-class soccer as the USA takes on current World Cup champion Germany Sunday, June 13th at Soldier Field. Get your tickets now for this world-class event.
It has to be a feeling every time you go out there when you're driving to the ballpark, you know you're going to win a damn ball game.
Well, exactly. It's the most fun coming to the ballpark I've ever had in my life.
High to left, playable. Reed Nichols, caps underneath it. History.
It has been a significant part of your life, as it has been mine, and certainly for all the millions of fans for 80 years who have come here. And when they get pressed, it's a joke.
Yeah.
They use that for
And
immediate
another
layups.
thing, I think that when they're healthy, they just burn up other teams. They wear them down.
Grant has been magnificent, Ben.
And so is Armstrong.
Yes, he
Armstrong was accused of being allergic to defense, and he's playing excellent.
How about the coaches that you play the Bulls and you lose your job, Ben?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Very, very
Ron
interesting.
Rothstein, Bobby Weiss,
And maybe Wilkins.
I'd like to go to Bill Jauss now. Bill, Dick Schultz resigns as head of the NCAA. Your thoughts, please.
My thoughts are that Schultz was fired, or squeezed out, or felt he had to resign because while he was athletic director at Virginia, some loans were given to athletes, and the loans were not available to non-athletes who were students there. Is that correct?
Yeah, and they were
It violated an
non-interest.
It violated an NCAA rule. Well, my answer to that is so what?
You know what the specific one was, Bill? They picked up one particular loan. This is an athlete received a $1,000 loan in January of 1985. This is the main one that they focus on. The Virginia Student Aid Foundation gave this guy this money. Now, that's 8 years ago, first of all.
Well, I think I would offer that if you go back into anyone's career 8 years, you'll find that he or she did something wrong.
If they're in athletics,
especially if you're talking about the NCAA, which has a rule book that thick.
Well,
I mean, Moses came down from the hill. He just had a tablet with 10 commandments on it.
He always brings up Moses.
It's tough to
Bill.
Of all people,
Moses and Richard Nixon come into your speech virtually every week.
Bill, would you?
The good and the bad.
Bill, would you have given him a pass?
Yeah, I would, because I think he did a good job. For one thing, he was visible. He got out of Shawnee Mission, Kansas, and was around trying to do things. For two things, he addressed the flaws that college sport has. Maybe not enough for Telander, but he did not pretend that this business was pristine.
You mentioned the name that you frequently mention, Richard Nixon, and I see a parallel.
When he wrote his speeches.
You see a parallel between Nixon and Schultz?
Interesting. I want to hear this.
Yeah. Schultz said, "I'm not guilty and I resign."
Yeah.
And you are in the role of the president who pardoned him. You're giving him a pardon.
I'm Gerald Ford.
Yeah.
Huh?
Now let's move on.
Bill, wait, if I could take the same parallel, because I find this an interesting one. And this is what I wrote down while you're talking, Bill, since you also brought up the biblical side of this. I have, you reap what you sow. Now, I don't know if that's from the Bible or not, but that is my feeling on this. I thought Dick Schultz was a man of integrity, a man who believed what he was doing, a man who worked incredibly hard. The guy had a pilot's license, and I'd talk to him, I'd see him, and I'd say, where are you going to be an hour from now? And he'd say, well, let's see, I'll be in Nebraska. Or, well, let's see, 2 hours from then I'll be in California. Then I'll be in Texas. He went everywhere, did everything. He tried his hardest. However, there is an essential flaw to what the NCAA is, to this hypocrisy of it being extracurricular.
Holier than thou.
Well, holier than thou, and that no one can deny that there's big-time revenue involved in this, and yet you're supposed to deal with your big-time athletes as though they're amateurs. And until that is addressed, there will always be these hypocritical stances.
Well, what you're saying then, and I think I would concur, that nobody can run this job.
Now
nobody.
let's move on.
Yes, not if you came from athletics.
Let's move on, Bentley. Who is the Puritan who will succeed him? Where will they find
There is no such person like that.
Jim Delaney is pretty pure.
He's a lawyer.
Well, as pure as a lawyer can be, then, Bill.
Excuse me for interrupting, sir. Have you heard about this woman that's a...
Yes, Judy Sweet?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, isn't that a bit of a surprise?
No, it's not a bit of... She's a very competent person, and I think that with gender equity being the largest issue on the table here, one is, what are the big-time football and basketball powers going to do? They're sick of this. They're sick of getting their fiefdom whittled away at by gender equity, making things fair. This could be the breaking up of the NCAA. We could actually see it, Ben. We've talked about this for years and years, where the big football powers say, screw it, we don't need
about
the NCAA.
reform. Let's reform the NCAA. Starting with taking this rule book, which gets bigger and bigger all the time, until you need lawyers to interpret it. Take it and dump it. And start with something simple.
The only answer is the one that we've advocated here at least 111 times: professionalize it. They're professionals.
That might be a step.
At least at the highest level, Bill.
Look, that's not going to solve all the problems, because as soon as you establish a wage scale, then somebody's going to come in and pay some halfback under the table.
I know, but it will eliminate the hypocrisy.
Yes, and it may eliminate the undermining of good men like Dick Schultz. And the sad thing about this, and I hate to say you reap what you sow, but when you're involved in a hypocritical stance, hypocrisy always comes back to get you. It's like having a dog on a leash, and he's biting everybody else, and sooner or later he comes around and gets you right in the butt, and that's what it did to Dick Schultz. And if they throw out the rule book, Bill, which might not be a bad idea, we did it, tried to do with tax reform a few years ago. Remember, throw it all out, let's start over. Didn't exactly work. We got all the bureaucracy back again. But that could be a way of the new guy coming in, instead of trying to maintain the old by putting more and more Band-Aids on this thing, start over.
Exactly. I mean, when the Founding Fathers wrote the document, wrote the Constitution, it's a simple document. There have been amendments to it, but basically we stick to what was written in the 18th century.
3 years ago, I wrote in a column something that offended a dear friend of mine, Ed Moose Krause, who just left us not so long ago. I wrote in a column, and I believe it, that everybody involved in big-time college football and college basketball has to cheat. And Moose was offended, and I was down at Notre Dame.
Bill, you know something? You might be absolutely right.
You can interpret that to be correct if you talk about cheating yourself on your education, spending more time at practice that you could.
Or saying you're really interested in one thing when in fact you're interested in another.
But there are all kinds of examples.
The Stars hit the course for Chicago baseball cancer charities.
How about it?
Bang!
There it is. Right on camera. Here it is.
It's your chance to tee up with Chicago's top sports personalities and raise money for a special cause. The festivities begin Monday, July 12th at Olympia Field. The 1993 Chicago Baseball Cancer Charities Golf Outing. Foursomes are available. For more information, call 708-272-3312.
Chevy Geo Slideshow. 4 cars under $10,000. Tracker.
Yes, the Geo Tracker. Take that top down. Ride with the wind. You're rugged.
It's a convertible. Lots of headroom.
Men like it, so do gals.
Right.
Lots of bright colors to choose from. Tracker means sweat, muscle, traction.
Pull on it, fellas.
The Tracker, and that's a deal.
What are you waiting? Get out of here. Go buy one.
Yes.
Numbers that become fantastic in our own linear minds. I don't want to go into that one, but we'll talk about that some other day.
But it certainly has been a long, strange trip this year. Last year was a honeymoon. This year was an odyssey.
Doesn't everybody?
Highlights, conversation, and interesting perspectives with Phil Jackson every week on Bullsbeat.
Running strong. For nearly a century, Northern Illinois University has developed a rich tradition of athletic excellence. However, today more than ever, the Northern Huskies need your support. A $2.3 million state fund reduction presents a significant challenge to our future success. Your contribution to the Huskies Athletic Association will go toward maintaining a quality program that supports over 400 student athletes. Keep the Huskies running strong by contributing today.
Beautiful. Sid Flaherty had both bowls and said the same thing, and both wound up going.
What's Holyfield been up to, man? Who? Holyfield. What's he been up to?
Not doing too much, making appearances, but he's very anxious to get back.
Except the Rosemount the other night.
Yes, we saw him.
All right.
Rick, as long as I'm talking to you, I know that you want to talk about someone sitting around the house and just getting fat, and who would that be?
Well, that would be a gentleman named Buster Douglas, Ben. And
yes,
I find it fascinating. A very interesting article in this week's Sports Illustrated about Buster Douglas, who was the heavyweight champion of the world at one time. There have not been that many. He happened to beat...
Blink, you missed it.
He was the only man to ever beat Mike Tyson professionally. 1990.
And knocked him out.
In Tokyo. So you say... You get all these millions of dollars, and he does have millions. He's got about $30-40 million, and it would be hard even for a bad manager to steal that from him, Bill. And you say, why fight anymore? Well, he had one title defense in October against Evander Holyfield, and as it's been described, in 3 rounds of perhaps the most uninspired heavyweight boxing in the history of the game, he lost. Came in like a pig, and he went out like a pig. They could have put an apple in his mouth.
And there were all sorts of stories afterward about him drinking.
Buster Douglas, Ben, did what so many of us have thought that we would like to do if we won the lottery or if we won the heavyweight championship of the world, which is
take your money and run.
Nothing. He moved to
he doesn't run.
He doesn't run. He moved to Marco Island. He probably weighs, I'm going to guess, 325 pounds. He has a little fishing boat he goes out on. He watches movies all day. He's got his wife and his kids. And
buys
he is
cars, different
happy.
cars.
Yes, he's as happy as a pig in mud.
Well, I don't think
End of
he's
story.
mud the way you
Pigs
put-
like mud.
Well, what do you want him to do? You want him to go to
He's got all this money,
I don't
and he's
know.
living very, very comfortably. He's not night clubbing. He's not picking up huge tabs. He's sitting back, and he tells you of his love for his wife. And he just does a beautiful job living in Florida and just enjoying life. And he knows he's got this money, and he has driving in a car in the story.
Yeah.
He stopped and saw this beautiful brand new, what kind of a car was it, BMW or something?
Porsche, I think.
Yeah, Porsche. Stopped and very politely said, how much? And he said, I'd like to get this car. And there was nothing. It's like walking around money for him. Dug down in his pocket and paid for the car.
Well, it's
I give him a
lovely.
great deal of respect. Don't try to make somebody's laughing again. We haven't mentioned
Ben, do
Moses
you give him
yet.
a lot of respect?
What?
Do you give him a lot of respect for...
I do.
Now,
do.
he's a young
Forget
man.
his ability.
What's he going to do for the next 40, 50 years?
Just
If you had, if you had 30, if you had
Well, he'll be
$30
up to
million
800 pounds then in 10 years.
If you had $30 million, what would you do for the rest of your life?
I'm not sure, Ben.
Well,
but I
all
don't
right.
think I would sit around and...
He's telling you exactly what he's going to do.
He's
leading a very quiet
wonderful
life.
thing. He's a simple, uncomplicated man. And he enjoys, as I didn't read the piece, both of
Yes.
you guys read it. And he says, I don't need all that stuff. I want to sit here, go out on my boat and enjoy my wife, my kids.
Yeah.
But one thing, I hope he has enough sense to start losing weight.
Well, that's something else.
He's retired.
But he's...
That's all it amounts to.
No.
He's done at 25
Good point.
what many people hope to do at 65 or 70.
He won the lottery
But I'll
in-
tell you this. I think he's going to get
He's
tired
not 25, he's 33, just for the
33.
record.
I think he'll tire of this life.
Oh, well,
No,
And
I mean,
what will he do?
Bill, that's what we're
Become
saying.
a wrestler?
No, he could be a middle guard. He could nose
He can
tackle.
pick himself up with his
He
wife
could do
and family,
anything.
take a trip around the world, come back.
No, I
he
think-
can do most anything. You're worried about a simple thing. What's he going to do?
Man, I
You
think
got
it's
30 million,
Ben,
what are you gonna
It's
do?
real important. You know, as somebody wiser even than someone at this table said many years ago, the unexamined life is not worth living. Now, I don't know if he was right or wrong about that, but at some point, playing pool in your basement, sitting on your fishing boat, going to the delicatessen where
I'm glad you said fishing boat.
he
Go
loves to
ahead.
eat, and just hanging out, accomplishing nothing after you were, the world's eyes were on him for like one brief
maybe
moment.
he's don't you understand
maybe he
that?
doesn't need that.
We'll see.
He's not an Ali.
saying
He's not
the
a
same
Michael.
thing.
He's
Rick,
wants
I
to be
just
simple.
don't see that as an unexamined life. He's doing a lot of things. He's doing what he enjoys.
That's all.
And he's
That's
making.
what keeps him active.
Let's hope
And
he's
if
making.
he tires of it, he'll move on to something else.
He's
He
making.
will not make return to boxing.
Okay,
Let's
well,
bet
now
on
that's
that.
the question.
No, he will
Larry
not.
Holmes said he wasn't coming back. George
Very
Foreman said
few of them retire and
Make
it
a
stick.
very, very small.
he's only 80
well,
pounds away from getting back in the ring.
Most of them come
Hey,
back.
I'm betting on this guy. I bet he'll stay retired. I
Absolutely
think
will
it's-
stay retired.
You know what he is? The simple, uncomplicated man.
What?
He is the ultimate yuppie. All the yuppies want to retire at
Strike it
50.
rich. Sure.
This guy retired at 30, what, 32.
Yeah, it seems like
Gotta
every
worry
day
about what he's going to do.
he gets up every day, Ben, and he's still amazed. I got all this money still in the bank. Nobody's robbed me. I can do whatever.
Frank, did you ever think of maybe getting bigger tables, maybe expanding the joint? I'm just thinking here.
Hey, which old style's mine, huh?
Yeah, relax. We got plenty of them. What difference does it make? Oh, Sal, you got the chair? Okay, good. Tommy, congratulations on your new job. We hope you make 2 tons of money, do relatively little work, and never, ever get transferred to New York City. It's too crowded there, Frank.
Old Style. It's our great beer.
For years, the people of New England had a secret. A secret that guarded them from the harsh weather. A secret that protected their wooden vessels from the raging storms. And what they use to protect their wood, you can use to protect yours. Wood preservatives, stains, clears. Cuprinol, we promise the best.
There are 2 ways to put a movie theater in your home. You could build one. Or you could simply buy the giant 35-inch RCA home theater with SRS sound. It's the easiest way to get a movie theater in your home. Now, get up to $100 back on selected RCA home theater televisions.
The shots. Paxson up, 3 on the way, good! The scores.
The slams.
The call.
He and Pippen are 2-on-1. Oh, yeah!
The balls.
Hanover starts, and Horace went down hard. Sports Channel, Chicago's playoff headquarters.
Many people that have hit the big lottery have found out after 6 months or a year that they're bored, and they went back to work.
Bill, I would expect him to be bored.
You can do a lot of things, though, that aren't boring.
You know what he'll
haven't-
do? He'll take up some other things. He'll take up gardening or tennis.
Yes.
Or
Tennis.
No.
Darn right, he can build his own tennis court.
Yeah.
He will be.
Why don't you guys
a
go down there?
He'll be a dancer.
I'll be his advisor.
Okay.
2 dancing
wanna go-
bears out on the court.
Bill, this one's directed at you,
Yes,
so
Ben.
please give me your undivided attention.
always
Don't
do,
worry
Ben.
about Douglas. He'll do all right.
Hey, Ben, have you ever
Yes.
seen this?
Oh, my goodness.
Can
Oh,
I
my
hold it?
goodness.
Look,
There
somebody
it
sent
is.
this to me.
Look
Zoom in.
at that.
See the guy holding up the hand of Rocky? Who's that? Rocky Marciano?
Rocky Marciano.
Right here. Let me point.
Yes.
And look at Ben Bentley
Yeah.
with the jowls. What did you weigh then?
Oh, I was a little heavy.
Yeah, a little heavy, that's right.
Ben, that's
Isn't that something?
And it says
you know what he was saying to me?
What?
Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Get me out of the ring. Get me out of here. And then Al Wilder's manager said, "What are you rushing him for?" He was standing next to him. "What are you rushing me for?"
Ben, that's a great picture.
Thank you very much. Anyhow,
Where do you
AJ
come up with this stuff?
You know who sent me this?
No.
George Barris, the old PR guy for Northwestern, lives in Oregon now, said he was cleaning out his files and stuff.
brother.
And this is from the Daily News, 1953.
Sure. Well, very pleasant. Anyhow, Gleason, AJ Foyt retires from auto racing, and be interesting to get your reflection.
We don't talk about auto racing very
that's right.
often here.
Thank goodness.
Well, yeah, Bill, that's the reason we don't talk about it. But this guy is a larger-than-life legend. And this guy is to auto racing what Palmer is to golf, what any of the contemporary stars are, and what, let's say, Carlton Fisk, yeah. And
Willie
this guy-
Hoppy to billiards.
Yeah, and he has just gone on forever. And now this brings us right back to Buster. All
How
of
does
us,
it bring it back to Buster?
Because when was it, Friday? This guy said, "That's it. I quit."
Like that. Boom.
And he quit because because one of his drivers, now he's the boss of the racing team as well as a driver. One of his drivers, one of his stars, hits the wall in the car, damages the car. Now one would think that this A.J. Foyt would say, "I've got to be in there now. I've got to be in that car because we've got a damaged car. I don't know whether we're going to be able to get that thing back on the track." What did he say instead? He said, "That's it. I retire."
Why, he came to his senses.
Bill,
Well-
look, again, we talk about boxers, and I think there's an analogy here between
Yes.
auto racing
Oh, God, is
and
that
boxers.
good?
Tell me
This is
about
a sport in which
Is
you're
that
alone.
good?
It's a sport in which there's great danger, and it's a sport in which you are a warrior. And
And
Bill,
the longer you're out there, the more...
right. But you got to remember, we're all going to die at some point, and you want to do what you were meant to do in this life. A.J. Foyt was meant to drive race cars. He drove everything from those midget things to Indy cars to Le Mans cars to stock cars. I mean, he has one of the most incredible stock car footage of him flipping, going up in the air about 50 feet over and over and over again. You couldn't believe anybody came out of there alive. He had both his feet shattered no more than like 2 or 3 years ago. He just drove earlier in the week 221 miles an hour. That's what he averaged at the Brickyard.
And when he's on the expressway.
Well, it's fascinating to look at his career look at racing through his career. When he was first in the Indy, 1958, Bill, guess what the average, or what he qualified at, his speed?
I would guess
31.
A little more than that, 143 miles an hour, and is now gone up to, of course, 222.7 miles an hour, which is what he had last year, and he was at 221 already this year. We've seen auto racing through A.J. Foyt, and I think Bill's absolutely right. He is a larger-than-life figure, but what I found so fascinating was he must have been in the back of his mind. He's threatened to retire, and when you're on the racetrack, you need those split-second reactions, probably even more than you need him playing basketball. And he just said...
Isn't it great that he retired at the top?
Yeah.
Right up there.
Yep. I think it's great. I mean, I think it's
You
terrific.
don't see that enough in sport.
But you may see him, like Buster Douglas, unretire.
Yeah.
I don't want you to think this is a ridiculous question, but what do these racing drivers do when they get into their own car?
They're the safest drivers
See?
on the road.
Well, I would like to get an opinion.
I bet it's not even, I bet when they get into their car in the parking lot, it's not even, they don't even feel themselves doing the same
Well,
thing.
I wondered after all day.
They
and
have
all-
been described as the
years.
safest, most conservative drivers on the road.
Well, the analogy with boxing, Rick, that was just great, because a few boxers have been killed in the ring, but these guys are facing death on every lap. An inexperienced driver can make an error, or a great driver can have a breakdown of his car, and then 3 or 4 guys come smashing together.
The difference is in the ring, you can rely on your own skills to stay healthy.
Right.
But on the track, you can be the most skilled driver, and an inexperienced or inept driver can take you.
You know, Bill, it's also like being a batter, and you, in a way, have your fate in your own hands, but a pitcher who wants to hit you or is just completely out of control is a danger. I was looking at his record just at Indy. I mean, this is astounding. From 1958 to 1993, he led. You know, Indy is 200 laps, 2.5 miles, and he led all racers, and they keep track of each year how many laps you're ahead. He was in the lead 555 laps. So that's times 2.5. That's what, about 1,500, 1,600 miles at Indy. He led
with the meter running,
and he won 4 times.
He was making money all that time.
Nelson Paquette, a fellow driver, said about him the thing that Rick was talking about. I don't even know how to say it. He is a symbol of motor racing. He's not just well known here, meaning Indianapolis. He's well known all over the world. He's like Pelé.
Is there anybody who can attain what he has? I mean, can step into that role now?
Well, you'd have to wait 20 years, Bill, to find out. You know,
for the longevity.
Well,
came up from the beginning.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to say something about how you guys played today. You should be ashamed of yourself. You don't deserve your old style.
Hey, I got a double.
I got a double. How about this guy? I got it. He was in a quantity. He had no idea. The only one that deserves her old style today is Amy. Amy.
Guys, try to concentrate here.
Well, excuse us, Stanley. Where are you when we win one? Mike, old styles for everybody Stanley is buying. How about that?
Old Style. It's our great beer.
Wednesday, May 26th on AMC.
I'm crazy about Tiffany's. People don't belong to people. I'm not going to let anyone put me in a cage. I'll tell you one thing, Fred, darling. I'd marry you for your money in a minute. There's certain shades of limelight that can wreck a girl's complexion.
Audrey Hepburn in the American movie classic Breakfast at Tiffany's. Wednesday, May 26th, 8 p.m. Central on AMC.
If you think a vacation in Connecticut doesn't offer a lot to do, you really haven't looked inside.
Connecticut, there's so much to do. Connecticut, we're surprising you. Get away.
Wow. And that's just for openers. To learn more about this little package, get this little package. Call for your free Connecticut vacation guide and find out how much Connecticut has to discover, explore, and enjoy. It's all close together and close to you. Call us today.
Aside for kids.
Yes.
They love that. You know that?
My grandsons get it.
They has terrific pictures in it.
But you held my hand at the door to see.
That's right, yeah. Yes, I do,
Tell
man.
me about it.
You stick with me, buddy.
Yes, I stick with you, and I can see where I'm going. Jauss, the baseball TV deal seems to get stranger and more controversial every day. Come on and tell us what's happening.
Curiouser and curiouser.
What's that from, Alice in Wonderland?
Yes, it is.
What?
Now we can.
Curiouser and Curiouser? Wasn't there a sports writer that used that?
That's a law firm. Curious.
No.
Let's try to explain this without making it sound like alphabet soup or like a financial report. There was a meeting in Chicago with the baseball moguls, as Jerome Holzman of the Tribune calls them. And Jerome was covering it for our paper, and he saw somebody loitering out in the hall. And it happened to be a guy named Pilson, who runs one of the networks.
Neil
its
Pilson.
initials are CBS. It was like an uninvited guest, because baseball was dealing with two other networks whose initials are ABC and NBC. The CBS guy walked in with an offer. And guess what? Baseball's leaders, these moguls, said, no, we can't accept your offer because why? Too low?
Let me guess.
Unethical. Mr. Giles of Philadelphia, Bill Giles, said it was unethical. Another owner said it was a breach of negotiation etiquette.
Did you see how Jauss rises to words like...
Gentlemen, this is called situation ethics. These same clowns who say, build us a new stadium with your tax money or we'll go to another city, now are practicing ethics.
You wanted
and it's
to talk
tied to
about,
that. It's tied to moving.
You want to talk about Milwaukee.
Milwaukee has a small market. It makes $5 million from its TV contract. New York, Steinbrenner makes $100 million. It's a 20-to-1 ratio. So the owner of the
Through
Milwaukee...
his Madison Square Garden deal, right? Largely a Madison Square Garden TV.
It has its own TV deal. So the owner of... Also, Mr. Steinbrenner is warm to the offer from the last offer from CBS. But the people in the small markets don't make as much money as the large markets. So Bud Selig, who is the interim commissioner of baseball and runs the Milwaukee franchise, his general manager, Sal Bando, said, we can't make enough money here in Milwaukee unless we have a new stadium with big skyboxes. So we'll have to look at St. Pete. St. Pete has had that vacant stadium forever. When were people going to wise up? Yeah, they're holding it. Gleason, you know the people in Milwaukee and Wisconsin, are they going to go for this nonsense?
They will not. It will not. When you talk about voters in the Badger State, it's an entirely different breed than the people in Illinois. They'll never be hustled for a stadium like the legislature of Illinois hustled and got a stadium.
Now, there is one difference I think it should be pointed out, that the Milwaukee deal, the Brewers intend to pay for some of the cost of the stadium.
Yeah. Bill, this is kind of business as usual, isn't it? Yeah. You use whatever's out there for your bargaining chips, and I think there's only two things I know about baseball right now. One is, the Marlins need pitching. I know that. And two, somebody should give, whoever owns the Suncoast Dome, they should be getting about 10 to 20 million a year just for being professional bargaining chips. You know? Major League Baseball needs that dome there, and they need it empty. They really need it empty. Sure. You don't want to fill that thing. So this stuff is all just kind of greed and the inability of the owners to get together and figure out a revenue-sharing plan in a way that they can all play the game together. It's coming to a head. And for us to speculate on how it will end with the TV deals and whether it be pay-per-view for, playoff games that we used to get for free, or the fact that there is a playoff, when the games will be televised, I don't think we have any idea. We're going to have to sit back and watch these yo-yos figure this thing out.
What it does give them, though, is the opportunity, and we've talked about this before, to take the long-standing traditional leagues and tear it all up and start from scratch.
Yeah, these new divisions.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's
not only new
it's still going to be baseball, Bill. But
Bill, that's cosmetic.
Hey, as a fan, what's our major concern here? What are we worried? What should we be worried about?
Well, we should be worried that the cost of the games are going to go continue to spiral, and we can't afford to go.
They're going up. I don't think that's going to happen.
You think the prices of tickets are going to come down, Rick?
I think attendance is up this year.
But that's because of the Rockies.
No.
That's artificial.
Excluding the Rockies and the Marlins, without them, it's still up by about 2 percentage points. So that tells you something.
Look at all the things that are wrong.
Attendance is up because those attendance figures for both leagues now are tickets sold.
Well,
they're not games.
Okay.
They're 15%.
Let's look at two very different things
15% of the tickets sold are no-shows.
Well, what difference does that make?
Who cares?
That means that some people don't care to use
then they should
tickets.
come outside and hand them out to little kids or lock them or whatever.
You seem to blow that off. I think a 16% of no-shows is an unhealthy sign.
No, it's important, but we keep worrying about baseball.
I'm not worried about it.
No,
I'm worried about the fans who are going to be nailed, the citizens, people who need better schools and need highways.
Well, we've already had Moses and the tablet, the Bible, the Constitution, the unfairness of Richard Nixon, and
all
now
I did was mention Richard Nixon in the first go around here.
Let me say something about my concerns with baseball. My concerns always come back to the game itself. Guys throwing the ball. I thought it was great when Randy Johnson almost threw a no-hitter. He's 6'10".
Perfecto.
Almost. When they change that, that's when I'll be real worried. As far as like whether the players' salaries come down, I don't care.
That's right.
And
You care if you can't afford to go to the game with your family.
Bill, if they go up, I don't care either, because this has to be considered at some point a marketplace. Now, when it's not a marketplace, that's where you run into trouble. And these senators down in Florida want to get rid of antitrust legislation and stuff, so they can get the Suncoast down.
And the senators and congressmen in Washington, with Jim Bunning, the former Major League pitching great, as the point man.
So we may be starting all over from scratch with baseball.
Now when you fly with Michael Jordan, you can have the seat right next to him and hear everything he has to say.
Showtime.
Get the whole show in this fascinating new video, Michael Jordan Airtime. It's free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. The best way to get inside the action for over 20 million readers every week. With your free video, you'll travel with Michael Jordan for a year, from one championship to the next. And as Michael will tell you, the flight isn't always smooth.
When you trash talk, that's a game. It's a game of psyche now.
Talking to Michael right now, you love to see it.
And no matter what trash you talk, we're going to talk the most trash, and we're going to back it up.
Call this toll-free number now and let one of sports' most celebrated stars be your tour guide on an unforgettable behind-the-scenes journey.
Can we go there? The rim seems like a big old huge bucket.
This is the greatest performance maybe ever.
Catch all the excitement of NBA basketball.
Fake left, dribbles right, hang, shoot, score!
And then go on to Monte Carlo and Barcelona with the Dream Team, where Michael will give you an entertaining inside look at it all.
Maybe we can play some golf. Nothing could equal what we were going through in Monte Carlo. One of the reasons that I wanted to be a part of the team was to get to know these guys.
Call now and share some special moments with Michael Jordan and friends.
Hey, that was a good joke. Did you do that too?
I did. It's free from Sports Illustrated. Get your free video and 54 issues of Sports Illustrated, including the swimsuit issue for only $1.39 an issue. Save over 52% off the cover price. Follow all your favorites in Sports Illustrated. Call now to subscribe or renew and receive your free video. For quicker delivery, use your credit card.
To be one of the best, or be the best. That drove me.
Call now and take off with your free Michael Jordan video. And you'll be sure to catch the next flight in Sports Illustrated. Call now.
Gravity announcer in New York, Johnny Addy.
It looked like, you know where the thing comes down? The
That's what I did it at the stadium.
Isn't it in Raging Bull where they show it coming?
Yes, sure.
It's a fabulous shot with the camera.
They did that at the Chicago Stadium. Anyhow, Bill Gleason, we have a guest at the table, and please handle the introductions, if you will.
First, I have a new cap, another cap, and Jauss is going to talk about it. He's going to tell us.
That represents the Rockford Royals, a baseball team in the Class A Midwestern League, staffed by Kansas City Royals players, but managed by, from the business end, by the Chicago Cubs. Connie Kowal from the Cubs.
And owned
by the Cubs.
But Cubs are going to
So your company owns them.
The Cubs will have a team
so
in
you're
there
part owner of this team, aren't you?
1995, as a shareholder.
Being a Tribune company guy, yep. Okay.
We have with us a nationally known figure in baseball and in various other sports. He's known throughout the country, and he's especially known now because he is the winningest college coach in history. He recently coached his 1,333rd victory, broke the record of the famous Rod Daydew of the University of Southern California. His team this year, after a slow start, won 27 in a row. He also won 5 football championships, high school football championships at Joliet Catholic High School in both 5A and 6A. His record in football, 222, 54, and 6. He was at Lewis College for 24 years, at St. Francis now. He's at St. Francis of Joliet now. In his 17th season, this is his combined in all sports. This is his 90th, this baseball season, his 90th season of coaching. He played basketball for Ray Meyer. He was on the Great Lakes basketball team during the big war that won the national championship. He won 3 NAIA World Series at Lewis from 74 through 76. He was a professional baseball
What a
catcher
resume you
for
have.
2 years, and he is Gordon Gillespie. And Gordon, we're going to fire some
I
questions.
got to applaud after that introduction.
What a
Just
man.
like I wrote it. Thank you. Thank you.
You've had how many players make the big leagues, Gordon?
Well, not a lot of them, Bill, honestly. Eddie Spezio, I had a pitcher named Greg Washburn that made it, and that's about all. I haven't had a lot of guys.
Football, Tom Thayer of the
Football,
Bears.
Tommy Thayer, the best football lineman I've ever coached, of course, and of course, he's unappreciated with the Bears.
He's never missed a game.
Never
From
missed a
the time
game.
he played for you in high school through his
He may now with his back.
He may now with
Corey,
his back.
the main question I have is, since you've coached for so long and still right there on the field, you got a great tan. You the first guy to come on this in this cellar and outdo Ben with a tan. Anyway, what's the difference in the players that you first started with and the way they are now?
Well,
they're still the same?
No, there's so much more talent today, Rick. It's unbelievable. We have the great strength training that we see all through the country. The kids are bigger, stronger, and faster, and the coaching is superior. The high school coaching, the kids that I get out of the Chicago area are just superbly coached in high school.
Really? Now, see, I wouldn't expect that.
Oh, this is the greatest, really, the Midwest is one of the great teaching areas of baseball in the country, and especially in Chicago.
Have you had to change your philosophy of coaching?
No, I don't.
Today's
Coaching's coaching, Bill. Coaching is discipline. The kid's got to work. I mean, you can't be a nice guy and be a good coach. I mean, on that field, you got to be a tough guy, and you got to demand. You got to make the kids work. But all of the coaches that I find that are successful in the high school areas today are all disciplinarians. They're all good teachers. The fundamentals are taught so superior today than when they used to be, just because of perhaps of TV, because of the education that the kids get all the time. Kids watch good players that they didn't used to watch in the old days, and so on and so forth. Certainly there were great players in the old days. I don't want to get into, my favorite today is
I'm going to anticipate a Jauss question. Given that all of this is true, and you know that it's true, how come we get so many major leaguers who never hit the cutoff man and going around first base, touch first base with the wrong foot?
Well, I think, Bill, that you're going to see more fundamentals applied. Now, you're going to laugh at me when I tell you this, but there's more fundamentals applied in high school and in college ball than there in the major leagues. See, you don't have time in the major leagues, Bill, to establish a system. Tommy Lasorda is the only guy that's been around for any length of time. All the men, you either win right now. So the training ground isn't like it should be. Remember Jim Finks when he left left the Cubs? He went to spring training with the Cubs, and then he, of course, signed with New Orleans. But he came back. Jim is a good friend of mine. He said, Gordy said, I was appalled at the lack of fundamentals being taught in spring training.
Well, they forget, though. Why do they forget? I mean, men like you teach them the right thing to do. They get to the major leagues and...
Gordy, could it be because that their agents are telling them you're not going to make another dollar for hitting the cutoff man? And it doesn't matter whether you can slide on both hips, and it doesn't matter if you do the fundamentals.
Well, let's put it like this, Bill. Johnny Sain told me he pitched 3 years with a sore arm. The modern-day player won't pitch 3 days with a sore arm because he goes on disabled list. So, again, the whole scene up there has changed. So, again, whether they're going to hit the cutoff man or not, are you going to tell Bonds that he has to hit the cutoff man? If he missed me, you say, oh, well. Because he's going to stay and you're going to go if you're the manager. And that's the way it is.
Gordy, how do your teams win?
Fundamentals.
Fundamentals. I mean, like if somebody comes out to play a Gordon Gillespie coached baseball team, what are they going to see?
They're going to see a team that is excellently coached in fundamentals. We work hard on the bunting game, on the fielding game. I have two great coaches with me. I have a 76-year-old pitching coach who was with the Cubs and White Sox, Joe Heinsohn, and he establishes, he was under Ray Berry's.
Right.
So you can imagine how good he is. And my other partner, Tony Delgado, who is the greatest fungo hitter in the world, he has our infielders. They have to wear shields out there because he blisters balls at him, He's a great teacher. So we can make all the plays. And that we're not universal with that. I mean, you see that throughout the Northwestern or Illinois. You got great teachers in the Big Ten, and there's just great baseball being taught. The trouble is that major leagues do not adopt the policies that are being established in amateur baseball.
Well, that's what Himes has always tried to do, first with the White Sox, now with the Cubs, that everybody is taught the same way up through the system.
Absolutely, and the Cubs will win the pennant very shortly if they just let Larry Himes and Jim Lefevre and his coach, that is a great group. And
But Gordy, you just made the point that nobody gets that time anymore in the major leagues. You got to do it now. What'd you do for me?
Well, I think, Rick, what you're going to see now is that organizations are going to adopt good philosophy. You can't. It's mad. It's madness, utter madness. What they're doing. They've got to wake up some morning and say, "What have we done?" Because
we've been suggesting that for a long time. But,
brutal.
Bentley has a question.
Well, I'm going to say that.
Yeah, you say that.
Gordy, when a player leaves your program and goes professional, a pitcher and a hitter, who's affected adversely by this change from aluminum to wood bat?
Oh, the aluminum to wood bat is overrated, really.
Is it?
Yes.
I want to talk about that, Bill.
Yeah, that's...
Now batting for down his room. First baseman Lee receiving.
Hold it up. Good play. Good play. Good play. Good play. Good play.
Frank, did you ever think of maybe getting bigger tables, maybe expanding the joint? I'm just thinking there.
Hey, which old Sal's mine?
Yeah, relax. We got plenty of them. What difference does it make? Oh, Sal, you got the chair? Okay, good. Tommy, congratulations on your new job. We hope you make 2 tons of money, do relatively little work, and never, ever get transferred to New York City. It's too crowded there, Frank.
Old Style. It's our great beer.
We have an understanding of our teams that in order for us to win, we need each other.
Just like in the class, you communicate, you learn from one another. You know, you just don't learn from the teacher, you learn from your classmates as well.
Alone, you can only go so far, but together, you can achieve anything.
I can't do it alone, and neither can you. Stay in school.
Let's see your qualifications. 11 years in Chicago. You enjoy team sports, and you're good with the press? So why did you leave your last job? Last job. Well, thank you, Mike. We'll call you if something opens up.
Friday, May 21st, the White Sox play the Oakland Athletics, and fans will receive a Totes umbrella courtesy of Target.
White Sox baseball.
Good guys wear black.
Hit him as far as he hits him.
Yeah.
He's a good glove man.
Yeah, he's an excellent glove man.
The first baseman had to move. Ernie Lombardi, wasn't he?
He's a catcher.
Oh, he's a catcher. Oh, okay.
Let him hit
All
him.
they can move. Grace saves a couple
We are now back again, and I believe Bill Jauss had a question for Mr. Gillespie.
Yeah, Gordy, it's about aluminum and wooden bats. If a young guy, a batter, goes out of your program and goes pro and starts swinging a wood bat, his batting average drops as a rule. A pitcher, when he stops pitching to guys with aluminum bat and pitch to wooden bats, his earned run average drops. Is that a big deal?
No, that's not a big deal. I think it's mostly bologna sausage, okay, for the guys that get the statistics together. Because, number one, if I'm a hitter, see, there's only that much on the bat. And that much, you're talking about maybe 4 inches. The sweet spot of the bat is about... So no matter what, you're going to be hitting with a fly swatter. If you hit the sweet spot, it's going to be a base hit. If you don't hit the sweet spot, it's not going to be anything. If you get your bat sawed off with a metal bat, you might bloop one occasionally. We don't get too many bloops. You either hit them good or you don't hit them good. So as soon as you adjust to the wooden bat, and the kids adjust in about 3 days, I'd imagine, there's really nothing to it. You got to hit the ball good no matter who you are. If you got talent, if you're a good hitter, you're going to be a good hitter. Again, if you take a fly swatter up or a cane up there, you're going to hit. Good hitters grab anything and hit. You know, guys that are worried about whether I'm swinging aluminum or wooden aren't going to hit anyway, Bill.
When did they come in for you as a coach, aluminum bats?
Probably about 20, 25 years ago. It was the greatest thing that ever happened. Because I've been in
long?
Yeah, parochial education. Anything to say, you know, we chase all balls, whether they wiffle balls. You know, we don't lose a ball. We count them in the bag after practice. So bats were very expensive.
So the economic savings was okay, counter to the vis-a-vis the sound and the loss of tradition and what have you.
Absolutely.
You're a pretty progressive guy. You know, I mean, a lot of people just say, the kids in the old days were great, now they're rotten, and these aluminum bats are ruining the game.
Gordy?
Well, the only thing that's ruining the game today is Major League Baseball. Or the owners.
Yeah, I have one question I'd like to ask you, and that's the scouting program. Now, I know you what do you tell a player that you're looking at and they're trying to get to play for you? Then you've got the family, these folks. What's the first step you take?
Well, I think the number one thing that the reason they're interested in you at all, talking to you, is that you have a good baseball program and you have a good reputation as a coach, or your coaching staff has a good reputation. So that's number one.
That's interesting. Go ahead.
Okay, number two would be the school. Do you have my major? I want to be a stockbroker. I want to be, you know, some form of business. I want computer science, whatever. So you got to sell your academic program. The third thing, and always probably one of the most important things, can I afford to go to your school? Bill, your alma mater, and I believe your alma mater, Rick, both are up around $25,000 a year, room, board, and tuition. Our school is $13,000 room, board, and tuition, which is cheap in private education. So, again, you've got to put what we call a financial aid package, Ben, together.
To the family.
To the family,
right.
Such that you can afford. You're going to give a little bit of baseball help. You hope they qualify for an Illinois State grant. They might they might get a government grant, a Pell grant, but some way you've got to get a package together that they can afford. Now, they will make a sacrifice. The family will make a sacrifice. If you have the academic program and the baseball program, they want their kid to be in for the next 4 years. It's just like going to Mount Carmel High School in Chicago or whatever. You got a good reputation athletically and academically, they're going to come to your school.
Gordy, schools all over the country, colleges are dropping football because they say it's too costly. And yet you started a football program at a small school, St. Francis, and the school has prospered because of it.
Well,
explain that.
It's real easy, Bill, because number one, you want to get 100 kids into your school, 100 male bodies into your school, good kids, and believe me, we get good kids, and you get 100 kids that wouldn't be at your school, and then you don't room, board, and tuition them. You give them a small grant. They're getting an outstanding education, and they're also getting an education on that football field. And so many people that talk about dropping sports are so out of it. If we drop sports, we better really have some gun laws, all right? Because we're going to blow up the world. The only thing that keeps us stable in the United States of America, all right, is athletics, and especially amateur athletics.
Well, Gordy, here's the big question then is, you're at an NAIA school.
Right.
Okay, you clearly have passed up chances to go to Division I.
Yes, sir.
Right? I mean, right?
That's right.
Okay, and you must, and in the pros and all those things. Now, you obviously did that for a reason. And I'm just going to guess that one of them is you didn't want to get up into the corrupt rat race of that money stuff, or is that true?
It is a rat race, and again, I've had offers to go into professional baseball, but you know, I couldn't have the players telling me what to do. I would have to be, if you're going to be the boss, you got to be the boss. And I always felt when I was at Lewis University and St. Francis College and Joliet Catholic, there were three wonderful, meaningful places where people had purpose. The kids had purpose. And I am religious, and I do believe in Jesus Christ, okay, and a way of life. So it was important to me to be able to go out and make some kind of an image or an impact on the kid's life. And I don't know if I could have done that.
Can I ask you a baseball question for everybody here? What do you do for kids afraid of the ball, a batter?
What do we do? He's afraid of the ball?
Yeah.
Pray.
Bailing out.
Yeah, pray. I don't know if you can teach that. I mean, some guys will get their kid in the backyard and throw hard balls at him, you know, to make them not afraid. Well, that's just going to get them more afraid.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is we work with the children in our children's camps in the summertime, Rick. We hit wiffle balls and rubber balls. We don't let the kid get afraid till he's ready to handle being afraid. Little League Baseball, they throw those hard balls at those kids, and I get petrified, all right, because most kids get killed because the ball hits them in the chest and they have cardiac arrest. That's because they throw a hard ball. Little League should be played with rubber balls like we used to play against the wall in Chicago.
It's interesting you could develop your skills that way. And
Roach has a logo. Brother. The Sports Writers on TV is brought to you by Chicago's Beer, Old Style and Old Style Life. It's our great beer. June heats up the airwaves with exciting sports all summer long, right here on SportsChannel. The Bulls prepare to make their mark in NBA history with a third straight championship. With Bulls Beat, the SportsChannel report, and full game coverage, no one covers the action like SportsChannel. your Bulls playoff headquarters. The White Sox continue their quest for the West with 20 big games this month, including contests against Detroit, Boston, and Oakland. Plus, we've got White Sox Weekly. Join Gene Lamont, Tom Paciorek, and Ed Farmer for the official show of the Chicago White Sox. We're your home for high school championships as Sports Channel showcases girls softball and volleyball and boys baseball. International soccer takes center stage when the U.S. World Cup team takes on the rest of the globe as they gear up for the 1994 World Cup. Plus, catch baseball's greatest games, the 10th annual All-Star High School Football Game, boxing, and so much more on Sports Channel in June.